breaking news. In the last few minutes, soon after I drove up and put up my satellite dish this morning and met with Jared, who is with me, who's one of the protesters here, two vans drew up, and one then subsequently drove away, but a white van came up. I've got its registration number. A man got out of the cab and started having quite a disagreement with me and Jared here. This man was masked. He wouldn't give his name, and actually it was quite threatening to me and to Jared, who is here. He said, "You can try and trace my registration number, but good luck with that." And he spoke with us for about 5 minutes and then went off. He wouldn't say where he was from or where he was going, and said, "I will be back." I wasn't expecting a masked man to jump out of a van and threaten me in the dark in a country lane in Surrey when I'm going about my business and you're going about your business. I've asked that man, incidentally, whether he wanted to be interviewed. He politely declined that opportunity.
Let's bring in Cameron Buchanan, who is a director at Angus Energy, one of the investors in this oil drilling project, who's got in touch with us this morning. Hello there.
Hello, good morning.
What's your reaction to what you've just heard?
Well, I think it's not true that everybody is against it. I mean, the council isn't against it, and there are certain people, as we've just heard recently, people are objecting to these objectors. So I don't think everybody is just against it, and I don't think you can hold back Canute-like the tide of what is happening.
Don't accept that it's the most beautiful part of a beautiful part of Surrey.
Of course it is. There are many beautiful parts of Surrey, but this is oil that we need, and we do need oil, and it's continuing production. There's the last plus or minus 30 years that we've had there.
So it's interesting because you do have locals who say, look, people have ridden here, they've walked here over the last few decades and generations. You can understand why people want to protect their environment.
Of course I can. I can understand exactly why their environment wants to be protected, but we're not going to ruin the environment. This is not going to be ruined. We're just putting in these wells. It's not going to be fracking, which everybody thinks it is. It's going to be a conventional oil production site. And there's nothing new the company is doing, and the field has been and will continue to be a conventional production site the whole time.
So for people who don't know really what that means, what does that explain as far as what will it look like, and what will the traffic be like, for example?
The traffic will be initially high as we bring in the equipment, but after that it'll be scaled down. I mean, it won't be a big lot of traffic. What we're doing is abandoning the existing wellbore, closing it permanently, and then taking a short section from the original 1987 BP well to continue production. So there's nothing new this company is doing, and I don't agree that everybody is objecting. A lot of these objectors are people who've come from all over who are sort of permanent protesters. I don't think all we're going to see is these drills going down. I don't think it's going to really ruin the environment at all.
We've heard our reporter talking about being threatened this morning. Man arrived in a balaclava in a van. It's not the kind of thing you want this project to be associated with, surely?
Not at all. I agree entirely. I don't think we want it, but these are professional protesters who are doing this, I suspect. But there are two sides always to the question, and this is the one side. And I think this is really, all we're doing is continuing production. We're going to abandon the existing wellbore, closing it permanently. I don't think it'll be a lot of disruption. We need oil. Good heavens, there's 1.5 billion barrels per day required. We need it just for heating houses, for boilers, for factories, for work. We've got to have oil. And this is one way of getting out oil. And it's a very good way, very economical, and it works very well. It's cheaper than going out of the North Sea, and we really need it. And that's what it's got to be. And there's this great big sort of field here on the Weald, and it's got to go somewhere.
Cameron, thank you for your time this morning. Cameron Buchanan has been in touch. He's a director at Angus Energy. He's one of the investors in that oil drilling project. Reaction?